Tonight's edition of Headbangers Ball underway with a song making reference to their home city of Seattle. That was Jet City Woman. If you're a major Queensryche fan, like I am, then you'll be pleased to know that the band will return on the 10th of October with their new album, Promised Land. So look out for that. I'm certainly looking forward to its release. Now, as I said, Headbangers Ball is on location in the city of Seattle. Sadly, no grunge tonight because our musical agenda is a lot heavier. We've joined the Machine Head Obituary US tour to bring you all the action. And first up tonight, if you look over here, you can see that I'm joined by Rob and Logan from Machine Head, and we're going to talk to the guys about their debut album, Burn My Eyes, which got 5 out of 5 in Kerrang, which is no small achievement. And of course, the album entered the UK charts in the number 25 position, so congratulations for that, guys. How did you feel when you found out that your album had gone in the UK charts at 25?
All of us, we're amazed. We were just completely blown away. I mean, that's certainly not something we never expected to do. And I called up a BBC interview, and it was like 5 minutes long, and that was the first thing she told me. And I was like so excited I could barely even talk for the rest of the interview. It was like, all of us were completely happy.
Well done, that's a real achievement. And Kerrang magazine have been hailing it as the most powerful album of '94 as well, so
Kerrang rules.
Now, you're out on the road with Obituary and Napalm Death in the US, as we said. So Logan, how have these tour dates been going?
They've been going really good. Crowd response is like really good every time we get to. The bands we're out with are treating us good. Everyone's cool.
Everyone from Napalm's really cool. We're sharing a bus with them. We don't get no hotels or nothing. We just all live on the bus, all 11 of us. And Shane has the stinkiest feet you've ever smelled. But he's a great guy, so.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, totally.
Now, what kind of people have the shows been attracting? Because obviously Obituary and Napalm Death, they attract a somewhat death metal audience. And I did read a couple of gig reviews where it sounded as if there was quite a bit of violence in the crowd. And obviously your music, although it's very aggressive, it's not about being aggressive as a person. So what's been going on?
For the most part, the show's been going really good. I know you're talking about that Kerrang review, the live show. That was just that was like an unfortunate situation. I mean, we attract that kind of crowd, and for whatever, there was like 4 fights before we went on, and people were getting maced, people were getting pepper sprayed in the audience. There was like a guy like taking keys, and he was like sucker punching people like as they went by in the pit with a fist full of keys, and we just had to stop it. It just got to a point where we were like, you guys got to chill, man. If you're so pissed off, dance a little harder, stop fighting, and but for the most part on the tour, the show's been going really good. I mean, the kids, even though we ain't like death metal and stuff, all the kids have been coming up like, that was killer. I'm hella surprised, never heard of you before, but I'm getting the record, so that makes us feel real good.
Now, the critics are hailing the band as like the new Metallica. How do you feel about that comparison?
I don't like to be compared to anybody, especially like Metallica or anything. We want to define our own identity to everyone, and prove our own. Let Machine Head stand for itself as its own entity, not the next whatever.
Yeah, Metallica's a good band and all, but I don't think we sound like too much like them, and they're just, I've heard there's lots of next Metallicas, and I'd just rather let Machine Head stand on its own merits.
Well, the album certainly speaks for itself, and we're going in to the first video from Burn My Eyes, a track called Davidian, and new experience for you, for Machine Head, to make a video. And how did you feel about the way the video turned out?
It was cool. I mean, we were really happy. We didn't have a very big budget to do it, so we did the best we could. We just basically guerrilla tactic our way around like Oakland and San Francisco, and got busted by the police a couple of times. But we were just like, we're just high school kids playing with our mom's video camera, So they didn't do nothing, and it worked out good.
Excellent. Well, we're going to show you that video right now. This is Machine Head with the debut video from Burn My Eyes. It'll certainly burn your ears. This is Davidian. From the city of Seattle on the Machine Head Obituary US tour, talking to Machine Head. Of course, the band are from Oakland in California, part of the Bay Area, which of course spawned a fantastic thrash scene back in the mid to late 80s. And just wondering, guys, you know, you were growing up when all that was going on. How much did the Bay Area scene actually influence you when you were, when you were younger as people, and also on the musical side?
Well, as far as like the scene itself, I mean, that had a big impact on us, just like the way things were done. I mean, when we came into it, we were going to clubs like Ruthie's and stuff, you know, and there was like no security. It was just, you know, everybody was like the security, you know, and it was just mania. I mean, I can remember going to shows and like people were bringing like cow leg bones in the pit and stuff, you know. People would set up like a chair at the back of the pit and like run from the back of the room and launch up onto the stage. I mean, just craziness, but everybody knew, you know, that if somebody fell down, you picked them up. If somebody did a stage dive, you caught them, you know. And there was a lot of problems and there was a lot of fights and stuff too, but it just helped mold our character and help like learn to accept and be able to project how we are on stage, you know.
Because, you know, you were in Violence, Rob, which seems to be a role that you want to play down. Why is that?
Well, I just want Machine Head to stand on its own merits.
Logan, the album, it seems, you know, the most immediate thing about it is kind of the aggression and the frustration that comes through on the record. That's what's going to like grab most people straight away. But you know, if you dig a little deeper, there are other things to find there as well, aren't there? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Other things besides the aggressiveness, and well, we try to put a lot of different styles into the writing, the songwriting. Some mellow stuff, you know, building up into heavy stuff, you know, or it could be melodic but still be heavy, abstract maybe. For the most part, it is aggression, and it's from our hearts, you know. And it's like
there's a lot of positivity going on there as well, isn't there? It's not negative.
Well, I mean, we all grew up, you know, Oakland ain't the prettiest place, and we all live like crazy lives, you know, just from whatever. And, you know, we're trying to make something positive out of negative, you know. We grew up in an extremely negative environment, and so there was only two ways we could go: to go with the negativity, which a lot of times we did, you know, but like with this, it's like a lot of the times, you know, like we'd fight or whatever and stuff, and that would be like we'd have to suffer the recourses of taking out our aggressions that way. At least if we take our aggressions out this way, you know, we don't got to suffer nothing except for, you know, a good show and a sore throat.
Now, you know, you've gained such a great reputation as a live band, and in fact I know that's how Machine Head first, you know, came to attention of record companies and so on, because you'd achieved so much on the circuit round about Oakland. Could you talk a little bit about Machine Head live versus Machine Head on the album, because I suspect they're two very different entities, aren't they?
Well, the way we look at it, I mean, this is the band that we wanted to hear. This is the band that we wanted to see live too, you know. So on the record, you know, we wanted everything to be like perfect, you know. But when you come and see Machine Head, you know, we're not there to like sit there and stand still and play our instruments perfect, you know. You're gonna get a show, and if we're sloppy or live, hey, you know, so what? You're gonna be entertained like fucking crazy. So that's our attitude towards it.
Well, we'll talk to Rob and Logan some more very, very shortly. But up next, you can Kiss My Ass. Yes, indeed. The Kiss tribute album is coming out. It's called Kiss My Ass. It features contributions from the likes of Anthrax, Extreme, and the Lemonheads. And
Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, yes, actually, that's true. And in fact, the next video comes from that very album. This is the Mighty, Mighty Boss Tones with a fantastic rendition of Detroit Rock City. Logan from Machine Head. We're out on the Machine Head Obituary US tour. Headbangers Ball coming to you from Seattle. No grunge. Sorry about that. No, I'm not really. Anyway, I've got Rob and Logan here, as I said. We'll talk a little bit more. And in the last interview segment there, Rob, you were talking about your background coming from Oakland, and you really said that music had kind of been your salvation. Is that one of the most satisfying things about being in Machine Head, because I'm sure that you've given inspiration to a lot of kids around Europe and the States?
Well, yeah, I mean, music has always played like a really strong part in my life, just from like the time I was really young, you know, singing along with commercials or whatever, you know, and it just helped me throughout, you know, my good times to my bad times, whatever. So to make it and be, you know, do good at it, you know, because I think I'm pretty good, you know. I think Machine Head's a pretty good band. And, you know, to be able to do it and have other people enjoy it, I mean, we don't even care how many records we sell, you know. It's like if people can get the record and understand the record, you know, if it sells 5 million or 5 copies, we don't care. If that 5 people can understand where we're coming from and, you know, feel how much we put into it, then that's all that matters to us.
What sort of feedback have you had from people that have bought the album and sort of taken in the lyrics?
I mean, for the most part, everybody's, you know, it's been like a real positive response. I mean, everybody's been, I mean, you read a lot of good reviews and stuff, you know, but just like the overwhelming amount of reviews that we've gotten have just been like positive, and that just, you know, it's either been really positive or just like unbelievably bad, you know, where like they just couldn't stand the hell, you know, don't send me anything more by these guys. So it makes you feel good, you know, love or hate us.
Yeah, exactly. You got a reaction either way.
Yeah.
Now, 1994 does seem to be a very, very good time for heavy music. Bring Logan in here. He's a little bit shy in the background there. It's a very good time for heavy music at the moment. We've got Pantera entering the US charts at #1, Sepultura doing really, really well. Why do you think that is? Why is heavy music suddenly coming back through in 94? Why is the time right?
What better time than now? I don't know.
Do you see Machine Head as like filling a gap because there hasn't been too many heavy albums coming through, or do you think that you're just setting your own new standards?
I mean, I think for the most part, you know, I think that heavy music's always been around, but I just think now, you know, everybody's finally seeing, you know, because before, you know, everybody thought it was just noise or whatever. Obituary, Machine Head, you know, 2 or 3 years ago, they would have thought that's just a bunch of crap. Now it's like finally being accepted as a legitimate musical form, and, you know, there's honesty and there's power and there's heart in there, you know, and people understand that, you know, whereas before maybe there wasn't to such a degree, but now there is.
And I think an album like yours or like Pantera is also a reflection of the times, that times are hard, and so many people can obviously relate to that.
Obviously.
Okay. Now, I know you're looking forward to coming to tour Europe. Is there anything definite you can tell us about your touring plans?
Well, we got a couple of things floating around. We're kind of keeping a lid on it, you know. We don't want to jinx it, so we're not going to say anything right now. But, you know, if it does happen, you guys will be the first to know.
Thank you very much. We will tell you on Headbangers Ball, of course. Well, thanks very much for joining me here in Seattle. Thanks to Rob and Logan. I hope the tour continues to go well for you, and good luck with the album. It's got off to a great start. It's going to be a very exciting time for you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the interview and stuff.
All right. That was Machine Head coming to you from Seattle. We got some live performance from the band on the way right now, and they've gained a fantastic reputation as a live band. You can witness some live performance right now, and that is taking us into our first short break. After that, we'll be moving on up the bill, and we'll be hooking up with Obituary to talk to them about their new album, World Demise, and also meeting Obituary competition winner Julia Thornhill. So stick around as Headbangers Ball from the Obituary tour continues. We're showing you some Machine Head live.
What is a man that just do the game but has to take a little to get by? Oh, that's a person that I know too well, don't wanna know about how